Hello and welcome to Standout Leader Week 1, which is all about becoming a 360 leader. And this, for me, is a really, really important place to start because 360 leadership is all about really looking inside, removing the things that are blocking you from showing up effortlessly as the leader, the unique, authentic leader that you truly are. I believe it's a really important step that we need to take on our journey in entrepreneurship if we want to stand out and embrace our uniqueness so that there is no comparison, so that we can eradicate comparison and competition and just be us. And it's easier said than done, which is why we're focusing on this first. So this week focuses on lots of different things, but to start with, I'm going to take you through a process of unbecoming. And to do that, there's two parts to that. The first is looking at the Johari window, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. Then we are going to go through an unbecoming exercise, and this is with reference to my favorite quote of all time: maybe the journey isn't about becoming anything, it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really us, so we can be who we're meant to be in the first place. And unbecoming really is kind of taking off those layers. It's taking off the things that aren't really you. It's taking off those blocks and barriers. It's making things more visible to people in a way that feels comfortable to you. And it's about working on the things. It's about working on our derailers and our challenges as well. So unbecoming is a big part of this. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your leadership story. Okay, so there's different videos for these sorts of things, and I'm going to be sharing this week's authority formulas with you. But let's kick off with the Johari window, because this to me is a really great first step in self-awareness. It's a tool that I use in my days in leadership development. It's been around for a long time. I think it's been around since the 1930s, and there's nothing fancy about it. It's just called the Johari window because two guys called Joe and Harry made it up. And really the Johari window is a way for you to explore your self-awareness and how you are coming across to other people and what you can actually do to change that. Because we all have things about ourselves, firstly, that we don't know. Secondly, that we do know but we keep hidden. And thirdly, that we don't know about, that are blind spots. And then there's an area that we know and other people know that is freely shared. And the goal of the Johari window is to increase that window, increase the window that other people know about us and that we know about ourselves. So that is, we are being that in all areas of our lives, so that we are being authentic, so that we're not having to hide parts of ourselves. And we're also working on our blind spots, because that is a continuous journey. So the goal here is to think, okay, as a leader, showing up as a leader in what I do, being visible, sharing my ideas, showing up to my audience, to my following, what can I do to increase that window where people know things about me and I know stuff about me as well, and that it's transparent. Now, we're not saying that you have to air your dirty laundry here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in order to develop authenticity, in order to be more authentic, which is in itself is the wrong term. It's trying it on. It's kind of accepting more authenticity. We need to start here, which is why the Johari window to me is a perfect way to do that. And I just want to explain to you what the Johari window looks like. So let me just get it up here. Hang on a second. Need to just move this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's move this down here. As you can see here, so this is the Johari window, and it's a grid type formula. You've probably seen these sorts of things before. And here at the top left-hand quadrant, this is the area, this is the window we really want to increase. So this is the known by others and known by self. These are the things that other people know about us and that we know about ourselves. And if you can see, that's a bigger window there. And we want to gradually increase the size of this window so that we know as much about ourselves as possible and that other people know that about us as well. So that's the first quadrant. Then we have this blind spot over here, okay? The blind spot is areas that we don't know about ourselves, but other people do know about us. So these are areas, these are blind spots. Maybe these are kind of our derailers. These are our main Achilles heels that we've been working on, or we need to work on to bring more into conscious awareness. It could be things that trip us up. It could be things that derail us. There will be things that we have blind spots on, and the aim is to get feedback in order to increase awareness of those blind spots, so that we increase the size of this window. Then over here we have known by ourselves but unknown by others. So we know stuff in this area. This is also called the facade, that other people don't know about. This is stuff that we keep to ourselves. You know, now when I was in my corporate days, I had a big hidden area. People didn't know that I liked going out and having fun, and I was a bit crazy. I kept all of that stuff hidden, and therefore I kept part of my personality hidden. And when I first came into the online world, I was incredibly professional, and I had a big facade. I had a big hidden area. But as entrepreneurs, when you are at the forefront of your brand, we really want to be increasing the open area and reducing the hidden area, so that, you know, of course, again, there are going to be things that you never want to share, and that's okay, but it's really about developing that authenticity. So self-disclosure is the goal here. And then the last quadrant is unknown by us and unknown by others. Now, this is an area we don't know what we don't know, but there could be things in here, for example, like potential strengths that we don't know we have, things that we haven't encountered yet that will bring out those strengths. Possible challenges or faults or, you know, derailers that we don't know exist and other people don't know exist. And the aim here again is to reduce the size of this, to increase through self-discovery and through feedback and through shared discovery, so that we are increasing the size of this open area. I hope that makes sense. So with this in mind, the first exercise I would love to take you through is to go through this Johari window, okay? So when thinking about this, what I'd like you to do is look at the Johari window and think, okay, if I was going to map this out, this quadrant, what do I know about myself and what do other people know about me in terms of showing up as a leader in what I do? What is already in that open area? How big is that already? Because that will be different sizes depending on, you know, who you are and what you do. What do people know about you? And think about your personality traits, your ideas, your values, your beliefs, all of those sorts of things. How much do people know that you know? Start there. Then move on to the second quadrant, which is the facade. Now, what are you currently keeping hidden that other people don't know about? And is that currently blocking you from showing up authentically as a 360 leader? And if it is, what are those things? What are those things that you are hiding? Now, again, there will be things that you don't want to share, but I would question yourself and think, okay, what is important for me to share that I'm not already sharing? And again, go back to ideas, opinions, beliefs, values, all those sorts of things. Then move to the blind spot section. Now, this, of course, is going to be a blind spot, but you will probably be aware of blind spots you've had, that you have a tendency to have because you have a default you have a default pattern, which can be something that's challenging to you, that maybe causes conflict or friction, or it could hold you back from doing things. What are those things? And make a note of those. And of course, you may not have many because it might still be a blind spot. And the quadrant where we don't know yet, so that's going to be a tricky one. So you can leave that blank for now, and you can move on to the next part of this exercise, which will help you to bring that out. So with this knowledge, after you've gone through those 4 quadrants, with this knowledge, we've got to think, how can we remove layers? How can we remove barriers and blocks so that we can become our true authentic selves, so that we can show up as us and not worry, not have any fear of doing that, so that people connect with us as true authentic leaders in what we do, and embrace our uniqueness and really appreciate us for our personality. That's the aim. What do we need to do that? Now, there are going to be things in each of these quadrants that fall under these categories. So keep on doing, make more of, stop doing, get support with, get feedback on, get advice on, explore through self-discovery, create space for, and start doing. Now, you will have this in your sheet, in your worksheet for the week, so that you can go through each of those quadrants and think, okay, so what action do I need to take for each of these? If it's something that is open to myself and to other people at the moment, for example, for me, the fact that I used to be a DJ and I like to have fun and I like to have a bit of a party. What do I want to do of that? Do I want to make more on that? Do I want to keep on doing it? Well, probably I just want to keep on doing it. So think about the different things in each of those quadrants and think, what do you want to be doing it? Keep doing it, make more of it, stop doing, get support, get advice, get feedback, explore through self-discovery, create space for, or start doing. And then you can start to get some actions in place. And ultimately, as a result of this exercise, I want to see your actions. So yes, you can explain to me the process that you've gone through, but I want to see, through taking part in this exercise, what action you're going to take to increase your open area of your Johari window. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you've got any questions.